A number of adventurers are traveling to the town of Vogler, all heading there to attend the funeral of one Ispin Greenshield, an adventurer himself who passed away of old age. How most adventurers probably wish to pass. They come to honor his respects, some adventuring together, others separately, but all being united by this one great fellow. The fishing village of Vogler clings to a spit of land reaching into the Vingard River. Wooded cliffs overlook the community, and the only path from the north descends past the ivy-covered remnants of a crumbling stone keep. The village's modest wooden buildings cluster around a quaint central circle, and along the riverbank, jutting into the river, out of place and seemingly out of time, stands an incomplete stone bridge of incredible artisanship. The structure clearly dates to before the Cataclysm, eclipsing its modern peers in size and sturdiness. The bridge crosses less than half the river's width, before giving way to a series of ropes and tethered rafts serving as ferries. On the river itself, dozens of small boats drift along the slow, murky waters, as the fishers of Vogler ply their trade. You should all now see the map of Vogler.
Very blurry.
Give it some time to load.
Oh, I just zoomed out a little. Then but your glasses on.
Yeah, I'm cleaning my glasses right now. I'm like, huh.
And I wonder why it's blurry, Tyler.
Well, it was blurry before I started cleaning my glasses, and it was blurry after I cleaned my glasses. Oh wow, it's HD now.
So you've arrived in the village. What do you do upon arrival?
When's the funeral?
You're not exactly sure.
Where's the funeral?
I mean, you know it's here in Vogler. You've been invited. Beyond that,
They
you don't
provide
have
an
too many
address?
Are we, together, or are we still separated?
It's assumed that you all are kind of arriving around the same time, with several other people also arriving.
I assume someone's got to know where and when the funeral's going to be, so is there, a city hall that we see, or anything, official?
I mean, there are several places. The largest building that you see that is obvious is a building here. Is my color really set to black?
Purple on mine.
There.
I want blue.
I mean, you don't know what the building is, but it's a large building, and it doesn't appear to be a simple house.
Well. The first day. What time of day is it?
You arrive just before noon.
Just before noon. First things first, then I'm gonna go to an inn
All right.
and get myself a room.
Well, you're not familiar with this town, so you don't know where the inn is.
I'm going to ask a local.
They tell you that the best inn is known as the Brass Crab, just on the wharf.
All right.
What's a wharf?
Point him. I'm like, that way. Thank you.
The docks.
I start heading towards them. There.
Well, you eventually find a modest single-story inn on the village wharf, and it does vaguely actually resemble its namesake. It appears to be kind of in the shape of a crab.
I kind of, yeah, it's like, okay. I head in.
You go inside,
Yes. Looks more copper.
and there is a woman serving, and it is just an inn. It is not a tavern. So there's a woman working the counter, taking coin and offering keys to rooms. On the wall of the circular common room features a faded mural of 2 enormous crabs locked in combat, inlaid with brass details.
I walk up to the counter. Greetings. Looking for a room here.
Ah, welcome to Vogler. Are you here for the festival?
That and I'm here for a personal matter. Going to for the funeral for Ispin.
Oh, yeah, Ispin. That's sad news, but happens to everyone eventually, I suppose.
Yes, it does. You wouldn't know where the funeral is being held, would you?
I believe that they are adhering to tradition, and they are going to push off a boat and burn it.
All right. Do you know the location that would be?
Oh, just at the wharf, and she points over to the south.
Well, I mean, there's
Sounds
a lot of places they
fun.
can push off a boat.
Oh, I didn't see you down there. I guess you could describe a funeral as fun. I mean, there will be food, and I mean, it brings a lot of people together.
It's a celebration, right?
I do like to think of it that way. A celebration of life.
Indeed. How much would a room for the night be?
1 room will cost you 5 silver.
5 silver. All right. I'll take it for the night. I'll hand her the silver.
All right. She
I'll take
hands
one
you a
too.
key. Another 5 silver.
1. Put down a gold coin.
All right. She takes the coin, hands back 5 silver, and then holds out a key.
I'll follow suit.
As do I.
How was the death thing?
I mean, it's about like 3 feet tall,
Oh, okay.
maybe 2.5. What waist height for average people?
Only 3 feet.
Yeah, you're not very tall.
No.
She has to look over to see you.
How many? Okay, hold on. I got
What-
this. I got
What
this.
else is in this area too, other than just like this desk thing where she would be?
Well, it's essentially split up into 4 hallways, each one with 4 rooms. And then, if you, like I said, there's also the common room if you wanted to just, like, lay on the floor in here. She'll allow that, but it's cheaper.
No, I'm just wondering what's here right now. Like, are there tables, chairs to sit?
No, this is an inn. There's not. And it's just best. Well,
I
there's
meant,
a
like,
couple.
decorative tables, maybe, or
There's like benches and stuff along the common room.
okay.
But yes, you've all been furnished with your keys and each been given a room for the night.
Where might we find the a local tavern, if I may ask?
If you want to get some grub, you can head over to the fishbowl. And she points you to the northeast.
All right. Well, thank you.
Are there fish there?
It's mostly what they serve. I mean, we're a fishing village, so plenty to go around.
I'm gonna go towards my room and check every door on my way to my room. That's
Almost all of them are locked.
almost. Which ones aren't?
Gonna go to my room as well.
He's gonna make you work on your first night, Joe.
The 4th door is unlocked.
I open it.
You open it, and you see a bed, a dresser, a nightstand, oil lamp.
Like it's in use. Like something.
No, doesn't appear to be in use. No, I mean nobody's in there. And
Yeah.
there's no extra luggage or anything.
Then I'll move on to my room.
All right. You go to your room, which was the 3rd room, and yeah, it's basically the same stuff, but it was locked.
Yeah, that.
But what does everybody else do?
Hungry. I say to Noboru.
Alrighty then.
Noboru. Noboru. Noboru.
Nobu.
Nobu.
You can just call me Nobu.
No.
After I check my room, I'm gonna head to the fishbowl.
Yes, that's where I will lead Mizunaki with.
You must feel comfortable there.
Oh,
Tell are you, Sam?
5'9".
Oh
I'm
boy,
taller than you.
I'm 6'10".
No, I'm not taller than
I
you.
designed my character to be a walking wall of meat.
Well, you pass through the village circle on your way over to the fishbowl, and you see that they've got stalls and stuff set up. It appears that people are getting a bit of a market ready. This is also where most of the shops are, clustering around the grassy patch of shade by the large ancient tree in the center. But you manage to head on over to the fishbowl. It is, it does have a large amount of glass, and it is not like actually spherical, but they attempted to make it round. This party lacks initiative.
I was reading something. There.
Play my next heist. Leave me alone.
I will accost a server.
As we walk in, I'm gonna make my face try and look like a fish.
Did we learn when the
Going
funeral was going to be?
Into the fishbowl.
Nope.
No, we didn't.
But you can find that information at a tavern.
Are we all going into the fishbowl?
Well, I already said I was.
Okay. So as we go in, I'll ask one of the people that work there if they know when the funeral will be.
Asking a random person, or
No, I said an employee.
an employee?
Play this up by years.
They tell you, the funeral tends to be at dusk tonight. They plan to do it on the stage at the dock extending from the rear of the Brass Crab.
That is very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, did you want any food?
I would like fish at the fishbowl, please.
We're particularly well known for our fish pies.
If it's fish, give it to me.
Very well. That'll be 2 copper.
I'm gonna walk up. I'll take one of those as well.
Same price. And he pulls back from the kitchen a couple of meat pies that are supposedly made with fish meat.
I put down a silver piece. Yes.
He hands you back 8 copper, and he goes, "You just want one?"
Yes.
He hands you back 8 copper, and eventually a fish pie.
I want 2 fish pies.
And I just absolutely devour it.
Yeah, I'll take one too.
I handed him a copper. Or a gold, a silver
I
piece.
shall follow
This fish
suit.
pie is my enemy, and I shall vanquish it.
Well, he gives Grot 2 fish pies and 6 copper in change, as well as everybody else who pays their fish pies and appropriate change based off what coinage they use.
I pull my rat out. He's a fish pie.
You get a couple stares, but he decides not to say anything.
Despite the fact that he's a goblin.
Oh, he doesn't have an issue that he's a goblin. He has an issue that he's bringing a rat into his establishment.
Quite the interesting companion you have there.
Got his name already.
Are you talking to me or the goblin?
Yes.
I mean, both. Just yes, yeah. Haven't introduced myself. I am Druvol Barvisa.
And I am Noburo, and this is Mizunaki. He's a very simple man. But dependable.
That is always good. Great quality to have.
I said my name. I can't remember my rest name.
I'm Griffle.
Pleasure to meet you.
My fish
Yeah.
pie does not look like a fish.
But
I'm
it pains it.
suing.
Sarah Fear.
Misleading advertisement.
So I hear that you're all here for Ispin Greenshield's funeral as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this invitation. I try to find it in all my pouches. I start dumping my pouches out on the table until I find it.
More and more people keep looking over at your table, at this weird little kender. But, I mean, it's not surprising. It's just... people know how kender are, but it's always still, like, for lack of a better term, entertaining to watch them. But yes,
But after I
Griffle...
show you guys, I start putting everything back in my pouches and probably grab a couple pieces of the silverware without realizing it. That's on the table.
There was so much stuff on the table that nobody even really noticed.
Yep.
There's nobody the...
Where'd my fish pie go?
You must have eaten it. What time was this funeral at?
Dusk.
How'd you guys find that out?
The barkeep.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
What time is it now?
About noon. So you still have most of the afternoon to waste time or do anything that you might want to do.
I restock. I get up.
What, an HP?
No, he wants
Hey,
to.
do you require some
I
cough
pull no
drops,
with
sir?
He's, like I said, very simple-minded.
Doesn't explain his gravelly voice.
I need some water.
Yes, Mizu, we can go look at the shops.
Ooh, I want to come to the shops too.
I give him a firm nod and continue dragging him out of the fishbowl.
That does sound like a good idea. Well,
Well-
I have time.
There's a proper general store just out around the village circle, but it does seem, at least over here, that there is a market out on the wharf.
I'm gonna hit the general store.
And it has, as you would expect, general supplies.
I specifically need arrows, but maybe we actually go check out the market, see if we can haggle.
Think value.
Me and all my 6 charisma will probably be good at haggling.
So do you head to the market then, or are some of you heading to the general store? Which?
The general store is really close to here, right?
Yeah, the general store is just
like-
in the like outside the village circle.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow whoever is going there.
And I'm basically there to assist Mizunaki in
Oh, Jones, scope it out.
clarifying his intent.
And whoever I am following, I am trying to mimic the exact way they are walking.
Good luck.
Well, who is going where?
I'm going to the general store and scope it out.
Yeah, I'm just walking around the general store right now.
So you all go to the general store.
I wanted to go to the market.
Where you want to go?
I care where I want to go.
I gotta find the stuff to steal.
So if Mizunaki is going to the market, then I'm assuming Nobu is going as well.
Yes, I am.
And then Griffle, who are you following? Are you following Druval? Are you following
Yeah.
Nobu? Are you following Mizu?
Druval. I'm gonna go to the market because it's closer.
Well, Druval's going to the general store.
I meant
Mizu is...
general store. I'm sorry. I meant
Yeah.
the general store because it's closer.
Yeah. So you are emulating
say.
Druval's.
Yes.
Naomi?
I'm gonna go back out to the village circle and are there like people I don't
Oh, yeah,
know,
there's-
socializing?
Yeah, there's plenty of people just hanging around. It's kind of like there's a couple of people picnicking in the grassy area. There's also a iron bell hanging atop a tall pole just outside this very large building here. But anyone who goes to the general store, it sells, like I said, basic general equipment that you can find
Yeah.
in the player's handbook. Nothing magical, nothing special. Most of it is fishing supplies.
I want to see if they have any ink and parchment.
They do.
I'll get 6 pieces of parchment and an inkwell
And then get a pen.
and a pen. Yes.
And a quill.
Yes. Quill.
Well, he, or I guess ink pen is 2 copper. Ink is 10 gold.
Maybe I'll hold off. I forgot it was expensive. I was like, yeah.
Sure, you still gonna buy anything?
No. Yeah. I was trying to find the prices on that and stuff. I was like, I can't find that one. I'll just go
Yeah.
with it.
Ink is 10 gold. The pen is 2 copper, and paper is 2 silver per sheet. But those of you who head down to the marketplace, I mean, you see a bunch of little stalls. Most of them appear to be selling fish that have been caught for the day. It's getting to be noon, so they're not the most fresh, but some of them are more fresh than others, more recently
it's
brought
past
in.
noon.
Yeah, it is just past noon. But there's also various fishing supplies, crafts, local farm, vegetables, all kinds of mundane equipment. But you also notice, in particular, there's an odd stall that sells fish bone puppets.
Someone's very disappointed in the choice they made. Of where to go.
Are there fishing rods?
Yes, there are fishing rods.
Then I point to them.
And I nod my head. I agree. And then we walk over there.
Well, they're selling them for 1 gold for an entire kit. Wooden rod, line, bobbers, hooks, sinkers, lures, and even some netting.
And we will both take one.
They'll gladly do business with you and sell you what you need. Anyone else doing anything?
I mean, I just am conversing with some of the people who look like they're not doing much of just relaxing in the circle.
Mhm. A lot of them talk about how they're excited for the festival tomorrow and they can't wait to see the battle.
I want to ask them what this festival is and all of its background and history.
Oh, they're happy to tell you. Tomorrow's the Kingfisher Festival, the annual celebration commemorating Solamnia's victory over the forces of Istar during the clash near the town centuries ago. It takes its name from the Kingfisher, the symbol of the Knights of Solamnia, and a bird of the fishers of Vogler's. It is also something that the fishermen here in Vogler consider lucky. There'll be lots of food and drinking, there'll be games and such, but the big highlight is the reenactment battle up on High Hill, where the local militia gets together, and this year supposedly there's even going to be some guests, and we reenact the battle between the Astarian and Salamnek soldiers.
Fascinating.
I look forward to it. It's always good fun.
I tell Nobu I need arrows.
Gonna make my way to the wharf market.
Well, I
I'm
doubt
assuming-
the general store would have that.
I'm assuming Griffel continues to follow
Yes.
Duval.
Yep.
Copying his gait. And eventually you make your way over to the market. And you see the same stalls that everybody else did.
I run to the puppets, and I pick one up.
And you see manning the stall is lower to the, or no, it's normally set, but manning the stall is a female kender who is standing on a stool.
Hello!
Hello! They're really neat, aren't they?
They are. Do you make them?
Yeah, this one's a sea serpent, and this one's a dragon, and that one's a giant octopus,
Which one
and that
was
one's a
your favorite?
chicken. And she pulls one out from behind her. This one's supposed to be a bunny, and it looks awful because it's made of fish bones, and it looks like like some kind of monster. But she claims it's a bunny.
I think
I'm
I like the
looking at it like-
dragon. How much are they?
Oh, it depends. Some of them take more work, so I do different prices for them.
How much for the dragon?
The dragon? I sell that one for 8 silver.
Ooh, I'll take one.
Sure. And then she gives you a quick demonstration. You grab, like the T things up here with the strings, and if you move around, she kind of makes the dragon move around like it's flying and stuff. And if you flip these ones like this, and the wings flap, and
That's great. I give her 10 silver.
thank you so much. Here, and then she gives you the dragon puppet, made of fish bones.
I start attempting to use it.
Make a performance check. Yeah, you pretty much picked up what she showed you, and you start making it flap its wings and craning its neck around and whatnot, and getting its tail to swish.
I'm gonna start doing that and walk around the market, or the market area, just having it fly everywhere.
Intriguing yet disturbing.
You all see Griffle with his new dragon puppet going, "Rush."
Mizunaki, I think there's a couple screws loose with that one. But I will begin asking around if there's anywhere to acquire arrows.
Life short, live well.
Yeah, they point you to one of the stalls that does have some basic adventuring gear and some weapons. It's all just normal steel equipment. And it's not even that high end. They've got some short swords, some long swords, axes, maces, and they've got bows and arrows. Obviously, they are selling arrows as 5 copper for a set of 10, I do believe. But yes, you can acquire arrows there.
Well, Mizu, how many you want?
Oh, okay, I was way off. It's 1 gold for 20. I don't know where I was getting this 5 copper. Maybe 5 copper per? I don't know.
Put down 2 gold.
For 40 arrows. Well, he asks if you want separate quivers for each, or if you want them all in one quiver.
One.
Well, he puts them all in one quiver, and hands it over. Takes the 2 gold.
Perfect. That's all I need. We can relax till whatever now. Unless you want to go start a fight, I guess.
If I'm flying my dragon around the market, do anybody have like things on the tables and stuff out that I can see?
Oh yeah, lots of people have stuff on the stalls, yeah.
Like close enough that I could just like grab as I walk by?
Yes, but if you do, you'll have to let go of one of the operating handles, so to speak, for the dragon.
Sure.
So make a sleight of hand check. Well, you randomly reach out without even looking and real quick grab something off one of the stalls, and it looks like you picked up a vial of perfume.
Just put it in my pouch. One of my many. And then I just keep going.
Anyone else could do anything specific during the day?
Well, walk around these houses over here.
Where? Okay. Wandering through the town itself.
Was there a stall that had, candles and...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go to that one. How much are these?
The candles?
Yes.
Well, if you want a candle, 1 candle costs you 1 copper.
Are they scented or are they just...
Scented candles? No? Is that some kind of magic?
No.
I've never heard of anything of a... How do you get a candle to smell different? Without magic?
Really? You just put something in it.
Yeah. Add in dried flowers or spices, anything that's
It's not that
fragrant.
hard.
It wouldn't
Add that
make
in
it...
with the wax.
Oh, I don't make the candles, I just buy them and sell them here.
Do you know anyone who does sell anything that is fragrant?
Well, there's
Like
a
that.
perfume stall over there.
They might be missing one.
That'll work. Thank you.
Did you still want the candle?
No, I'm good. Actually, wait. You know what? Yeah, I'll take 2 candles.
Alright, 2 copper.
All right. I'll hand him 3. Thank you for the information, too.
Oh, thank you. Puts it away in his little box. You head over to the perfume stall.
Yep.
Make yourself more... potent in social settings.
Looking for something tranquil. Something nothing too robust. Something calm, airy.
Well, I do have this one. And she pulls out a lavender perfume.
And how much is this?
It'll be 5 gold.
Yeah, I'll take that. And I'll hand her 5 gold.
Well, pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you. I'm gonna go and try to find Griffo. See where he was last spotted.
Make a perception check.
I'll probably be walking up and
Oh,
down
you
the
kidding
docks
me?
at this point.
I
Now's
mean,
the
you-
time to roll that. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see Griffle still running around the docks with his dragon.
Okay.
What are you doing, Krot? Over in the houses?
I'm just looking them up. I need my heist.
Alright then. Is anyone else going to do anything for the rest of the day?
I'm attacking the boats with my dragon.
Some people play along with it and they're like, oh, dragon!
Just hanging around Griffle.
The dragon hasn't been seen in these parts for centuries. Who would have thought they've returned? Oh,
You better run.
quick, paddle faster.
Adorable.
My weakness, water.
Everything's fine until someone gives the Kender a gun.
Shh, don't say that.
Can I try that out?
Bang! Gotcha.
But yes, you can spend the rest of the day doing whatever you like, and eventually you'll meet back at the Brass Crab.
I'm gonna go show the big tiller and tell him my new gun.
Oh, and I also bought this cool new mask. I'll put it on so he can see that too. Want to see how it works, Mr. Bank Teller? Well, you spend your day passing time throughout the markets or just wasting the day away until evening comes, the sun begins to set, and you return to the Brass Crab. There, you see what is quite obviously a knight.
Well,
Of
it is
what
getting
order?
dark out.
A knight of what order?
Give me a moment.
No, tell me now.
I got the crab.
Yeah. Net of the fishy bowl.
A knight of Solamnia.
Salami?
And can I just get a quick summary?
Up, down, left, right, B.
A quick summary? Well, she appears to be a little bit older. Her hair is grayed a bit, but she still looks to be relatively fit. And she immediately notices you as you walk in and heads your direction to introduce herself.
I meant like a summary of who the Knights of Salami are.
Oh,
Nice salami.
Terrific. That's terrific. I love
I
it.
like how he catches on so quick.
the Knights of Solamnia are an order of knights broken into 3 sub-orders that generally are from the land you're in, Solamnia, that try to uphold the law and protect its people.
Are they religious at all?
Not necessarily.
But individuals could be.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
They would be extremely, extremely lawful, though.
yes.
Like-
They're all about maintaining the order. But she steps forward, and she is not currently in her armor. Or wait, actually, she is currently in her armor. Full plate and even her horned helmet.
Ooh.
As she introduces herself as Beklen ut Vitharen. Or Viharen, no D.
Nod my head down. Hello, I am Juval Barvisa.
Oh, pleasure meeting you. I actually recognize a few. Well, I shouldn't say recognize. You match the descriptions that Ispin gave. You adventured with him, didn't you?
Some time ago, yes.
Oh, same goes for me. In fact, I adventured with him when he first started.
Really. He did get around quite a lot.
Well, most adventurers try to. Nonetheless, I still offer my condolences.
Same to you.
Where is she coming up to people at?
As you come into the Brass Crab. Like, getting ready for...
Okay. So are we all there?
Yeah, it's getting close to time for the funeral.
When she says that she adventured when he started, Griffle will say, "Wow, you're old."
She smiles and... Yes, with age comes wisdom, and I'm a very storied adventurer. I've served the Order for some time.
What do you do?
Well, I used to go out and protect the people, riding through the land, but Now I'm assigned specifically here, just to the town of Vogler. I actually stay over in the keep, Thornwall, just on the northwest side of town. I recommend you visit me sometime.
I'll have to. Thank you for the invitation.
Hey, look at
Well,
my dragon.
That is a very nice dragon. I assume that you must have bought that over at the market from Frostwin.
If that's her name, yeah.
Yes, she's the one that makes all the bone puppets. I'm sure she showed you her bunny.
She did show me her bunny. I like the dragon better, though.
I agree, the dragon does look much better than the bunny.
It attacks the boats.
It does.
I'm still scratching
Well.
my head about that bunny.
Maybe I'll have something to slay before the night is over.
Oh, no, I don't want you to break it.
It's alright. I don't think I need to fight this dragon. I'm not very good at fighting on boats anyway.
It'd
Now I
it'd
know
be
your
hard to swim
weakness.
if you fell in.
Yeah, I don't recommend going in the water with armor on. Well, I think it's about time. Let's celebrate Ispin's life.
Yes, why don't we?
You also see nearby a female dwarf who, upon a gesture from Becklin, comes over, and they start gathering everybody and heading out to the dock just outside the Brass Crab.
I shall follow them.
As well.
Yep.
I suppose.
Those who are closest to Ispin gather on the dock overlooking the Vingard River. There, Ispin's body rests in a small boat, his body wrapped in a shroud. A musician plays a soft song as the knight Becklin Uth Viharen steps forward in her ornate Solamnic armor. She gently smiles at those assembled, and her voice carries clearly across the water. You all knew Ispin as a friend, and there were none like him. Before he died, he told me this. There should be tales, not tears, for an old scoundrel like me. Make sure everyone knows my stories when I head off on the greatest adventure of them all. Becklin nods, and villagers carry the boat containing Ispin's body to the dock's edge, where she and Cudgel lower it into the water. So let us do just that. Becklin continues as the tiny vessel drifts out into the Vingard River. On the eve of the Kingfisher Festival, we celebrate you, Ispin. Good travels, friend. Until we meet again. And somebody, as before it gets too far away, tosses a lit,
Torch?
No, it's not. They're not shooting it in. It's literally just like they're tossing some.
It's a torch.
Not a torch.
Lantern?
Not a lantern. It's literally just like kindling that's already lit and tossing it real quick into the boat before it gets too far away. But with that, it drifts on, smoke rising, and it follows the current, eventually moving out of sight. After a moment of silence, Becklin invites all assembled back into the crab for the reception, an opportunity to share some stories about the dearly departed. And it's quite simple, but it is a crowded affair, and it looks like they've actually brought tables and chairs into the Brass Crab for all these people, because they normally don't have them. There's bread and cheese and local ale, and it's all free. Practically everyone in the village seems to be making an appearance at the reception. Shortly after it begins, Becklin calls for everyone's attention and shares one of Ispin's favorite stories. The tale of the time the high sub-senior artillerist of Mount Nevermind launched her pet weasel all the way from the Gnome Enclave to Sanchrist Island, and then hired Ispin to recover the critter. Or at least, to figure out its trajectory. Becklin tells several other charming stories about Ispin, and invites anyone else to share other tales that he might have told them.
Oh man, too bad I'm not good at talking.
If anyone would like, I can also give you a prompt to tell a story.
Riffle's here to listen to story.
You're scaring my inner introvert.
Sick. Dude, I like listening to stories rather than telling.
How about the rat? You like stories too?
Well, eventually, after a few more stories are told, and they're all quite over the top. Stories about the time that he somehow spent a night in a rock's nest in the Vingard Mountains. And then when the sun rose, he was greeted by supposedly not a rock, but a giant turkey. He couldn't quite see it when it was dark, but apparently there are giant turkeys in the mountains.
I am the spirit of Thanksgiving, here to pass on to you my wisdom.
And another time, for 3 days, a trireme crewed by a Minotaur pirate had been chasing his ship across the Blood Sea of Istar. But a storm caused them to essentially get damaged, and they wound up having to pull up alongside each other and use the spare parts to get one of the boats usable and work together just to survive. They became good friends after that. However, life as a pirate's not very long, so odds are he's dead, and that's why he's not here.
Oh no, Ispin's dead?
There was also the time the Lord of Palanthas ordered Ispin arrested after the adventurer shaved the Lord's twin Salamnic poodles.
Not the poodles.
But eventually, after a few of these stories, somebody blurts out, "We've heard these 1,000 times. You're telling it worse than he did. Why are we even doing this?"
Tell the turkey one again.
You honestly believe there's a giant turkey in the mountains?
He wouldn't lie.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Throw cheese at him.
As he continues to sip his ale. You throw cheese at him.
Yes.
I attack him with my dragon.
Cheese attack.
Breath attack.
Oh, we're attacking him? I pull out my longbow.
Naki, no.
What? Would you stop throwing cheese at me and get out of here with that stupid puppet?
It's a wonderful puppet.
It's stupid. It's a toy for children. Now that, I guess you could be one. You're short enough.
Now we can attack him.
Yeah!
How far is he
Do
on
not
the table?
know.
Well, let's see, make sure sharpshooter's on.
He's a few tables back from
What's he
where you
wearing?
guys
He's
are.
within range.
He is wearing all red and a fancy-looking side cape. It's very fine attire, and he has his blonde, like, very pale blonde hair swept back, combed over to one side.
Are you not a fan of our dearly departed friend?
He told the stories better, and he was just... Adventurers do all kinds of things, and they always exaggerate. You don't actually believe all these stories, do you?
While Naomi's talking to him, I'm going to put my dragon away and try to sneak back behind the room. Get behind him and tie his shoes together.
Well, I guess you could
If there's
do it.
time for that.
There, you could try. Make a sleight of hand and a stealth.
Luck be with you.
Yeah.
Again, be with you.
Yeah!
Honestly, though, I mean, why do you all care so much about him? He was just some old adventurer that died.
So why are you here?
That's free ale.
Of course.
Also, I live here. Why wouldn't I be here?
Because this is a ceremony. This is an event for someone we all cared about, and clearly you don't. So,
Everyone is invited.
very disrespectful to speak out as you are.
Fine. I see that no one here in Vogler can take a joke. He stands up and tries to step and immediately falls on his face.
Nice.
Several people begin laughing at that. He looks quite flustered.
Throw more cheese at him.
Good.
Stop throwing cheese at me. You'll hear from this. Wait till I tell my father.
What? You can't make a good joke?
He just,
Oh,
and he real quickly unties him as quickly as he can, and then he storms off. At which point, the dwarf that helped lower Ispin down comes over. Ha! He deserves that, if you ask me. I don't think we got introduced earlier. I'm Ridomir Cudgel Ironsmile. I was a friend of Ispin back in his days, before I wound up getting in charge of my own regiment of mercenaries. That right there, if you weren't familiar, was Bakaris the Younger. His father is some noble who moved out here, wanted to come out into the countryside.
A noble, huh?
Yes, a noble. thinks he's so much better than all these simple peasant folk, but he showed him there. This
That he did.
Baccharis the Younger.
Oh, yeah, totally. Douchey.
He's
Easy,
got
Rob.
a face that needs to get punched.
He deserves to be robbed.
Get some, Malfoy, presence off of him.
He said he was going to tell his father.
Nope.
Is his father someone to be worried about?
Nobody really. I mean, he has money, but other than that, not really.
Where he lives.
Still within range, guys. I could take him out.
But nonetheless, have you heard of my company?
No. None of
He
us
has
have.
my attention. I am a
And
bounty hunter after all.
I'm the leader of the Ironclad Regiment. We're a mercenary company. We actually got all my boys camped right outside the village. We're planning on taking part in the battle tomorrow.
Boy, am I not about to get this. Nope. I never heard of it.
That's alright. But we're gonna be taking part in the reenactment. Battle of High Hill. Looking forward to it. Also gonna essentially make a drill for the local militia. Let them get a little, beaten. Put them in their place and let them know what it's like to get hit by something. But they could use the training.
Sounds like it will be a good show to watch. Good time.
You bet. And if any of my boys get beat up by some militia here in town, they're gonna hear from me in the morning. Somebody's gonna be on kitchen duty for quite a while.
Let's all join the militia, guys.
Oh, excuse me though. I need to go back and probably check in on them. Make sure they aren't getting into too much trouble. You know how mercenaries are.
I give her a slight nod.
Yes, same as well. It was good meeting you.
She excuses herself. But yes, otherwise, people continue to drink and eat and generally be merry. Anyone else do anything while they're here?
I take some of that cheese and put it in my backpack.
You can put the cheese in your backpack. They bring out more.
Going to eat and drink a little bit more and then head to my room.
It's like Texas Roadhouse. They keep bringing out more bread.
It's cheese.
Some
Oh,
empty mugs and some more silverware probably end up.
they come over and like, did we not bring you a drink?
Oh,
I was going to ask you if you needed a refill, but...
You must have cleaned it up already. I don't know.
Oh, well, did you want more?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Oh, all right.
I've got my own. Never leave home without it.
But from home.
Well, as the reception begins to wind down, several of the people begin to head home. When they start seeing you looking like you're ready to leave, eventually, let me double check.
Talk about leaving. I'm staying here.
Well, no, but I mean like leaving the reception.
Yeah.
See, what kind of equipment are you all carrying?
Spear and daggers. And crossbow.
Longbow, katana,
I have a short sword, short bow, and daggers.
2 hand axes, a staff,
Rapier, short bow, and
a hunting
the
trap.
the only person who's actually carrying one. Eventually, Becklin comes over to Naomi, and I wanted to thank you for coming out here. And I think I have something Ispin said that you might make use of.
What would that be?
Well, I'll show it to you. If you, any companions you might have or friends want to meet up with me at Thornwall Keep in the morning.
Where would that be located?
She gives you directions, tells you it's the large stone tower to the northwest.
It's right there. Yep.
I will. Thank you.
Oh, walk.
But with that, the reception winds down and you all get to go to bed. Full, perhaps a little buzzed, or perhaps very smashed, depending on how much ale you had. It was free after all. And you all got to hear some fun stories. But nonetheless, when you wake up in the morning, the town is abuzz with festive energy. This morning, as locals set up stalls and hang decorations, ahead, the road to Thornwall Keep climbs a low hill toward an ancient edifice, ghostly in the morning mist. "Good morning, Becklin's friends!" comes a cheerful voice. "I'm glad I caught you!" From a shop doorway steps a young man, no more than 20 years old. He has a sword at his hip and a cloth sack in his arm. I'm Darrett Becklin, or Becklin student. Darrett Becklin student. Sorry. I hope you haven't had breakfast already.
Not yet.
Oh, some cheese. Here, have some.
Well, I actually had something else in mind.
Fine. I give it to my rat. Take his back down.
If you just want to come with me before we head up to Thornwall, I was thinking we could go get some fish pies over at the fishbowl.
More fish pies. Okay.
Can they shape them like a fish this time?
I don't think they've got the right pie pans to do that. I mean, they're just pies. They're meat pies with fish feet. No,
I
I don't.
said you a cooked fish.
I mean, I guess if they took the time to make a pie pan in the shape of a fish, they could do that, but
It better be worth it.
you can bring it up and maybe they'll start doing it.
Make one.
Not- Nonetheless, you willing to come with me? I mean, otherwise, if you really want, you could just go up to the keep and I'll meet you there.
Mizunaki, what do you want to do?
Thinking real hard about this one.
He agrees. We will have some fish pies again.
All right then. Well, let's over to the fishbowl. And he leads you over, and he pays for everything. Gets each of you a fish pie and one for himself, and he buys an extra that he says he's bringing back for Becklin.
Sounds good.
So you each get a fish pie.
Shared my pie with my rat.
So you guys are adventurers, right? You knew Ispin?
Yes.
Correct.
Like, what kind of adventurers? What do you do? Like, I mean, you guys, you look really different. Your armor and stuff, and that's a weird-looking sword. I mean, it doesn't look anything. I mean, he points to his sword. Are you a knight? I mean, not a knight of Salamia, because you don't have the armor. And your names are... I've never heard names like that before.
Honor runs deep.
Yeah, yes, it
In
does,
blood.
yeah.
Wow, his smile is also very creepy.
At first, I thought those were potatoes in his hands. Now I realize they're pies.
No, they're fish pies. Well, potatoes might be a good thing to add. Well, I don't know, they might conflict with the fish a little much. But yeah, what do you guys do? Like I said, you're adventurers. What? I mean, it looks like you two. I guess you do have weapons, yeah. But
I pull out an old bounty poster.
oh, you're a bounty hunter. You make good money that way, I've been told. Is that? I guess it's honorable. I mean, as long as you're catching bad guys. But
But not.
I mean, what do the rest of you do, though? I haven't ever met a goblin before. And there aren't very many Kender. There's just the one over in the market who makes the puppets.
Oh, she's very nice.
And she is, but I'm not a big fan of her bunny. Kind of doesn't look like a bunny. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't have to like the bunny. It's okay.
She's really proud of it, so I kind of feel bad.
Well, did you know that only male toads croak?
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea. How do you know which ones are which, though?
The crook.
Like, how did you check? Did you get a bunch and just be like, yeah, this one's a boy, this one's a girl, and then you sat and you listened?
It's just the things I hear on adventuring. You learn lots of stuff adventuring. You should try it.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
a lot of fun.
I'm still an apprentice, though, so I mean,
Get out there.
I gotta work.
You
Apprentice.
got the
what?
skills.
I'm an apprentice to Becklin. She's teaching me.
You can do it.
I hope I can.
Well,
Takes
when we're done with this conversation, we do have a prior meeting to attend to.
Yep. I'm aware. We're headed there.
I have already defeated my pie.
Every meal's a battle.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys excited for the festival?
Yeah, I shrug.
All festivals are exciting.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's going to be music and food, and there's going to be games, and of course, it's going to be a particularly special battle this year. Cudgel Ironsmile bringing her regiment. This is going to be professional.
Is this town, I'm speaking out of character, is this town, like, big enough to have that kind of attention?
I
Or
mean-
is this, like, unusual?
Attention in what way?
I mean, a whole regiment is coming just to reenact a battle.
They do the battle reenactment on their own anyway, and the only reason the regiment is here is because their leader was friends with Ispin.
Gotcha. Okay.
But eventually, He leads you all the way back up to Thornwall Keep. Veins of bronze-colored ivy cling to Thornwall Keep's ancient 3-story stone tower. The tallest structure in Vogler, from its crenellated roof, rises an elaborate device resembling a catapult. Crumbling ruins of walls and other fallen structures surround the keep, and amid them lie several shallow square pits and covered excavation sites. Derek gestures. Yeah, come on, let's go right in. Becklin's expecting you, like I said. He opens the door, walks in. Becklin! They're all here, and I brought your pie. Hands her pie, and she takes a few moments to eat it, and then steps
Don't you
up.
think it should be shaped like a fish?
Are you asking that to Derek or to Becklin?
To Becklin.
I mean, she looks at the piece she has left before finishing it and kind of shrugs. It's a fish pie. It's because it's made of fish. It doesn't have to look like a fish to be made with fish.
Seems like it would be more exciting, though.
Exciting's not the word I would use, but alright. Nonetheless, she turns around, goes off, gets something in another room, and then returns, entering the room carrying a shallow wooden box approximately 3 feet to his side, and sets it down on a table. Ispin left this for, well, the last adventuring parties he was with. It comes with a condition. He won't be attending the Kingfisher Festival this year, so he wanted at least some, if not all of you, to participate for him. He wanted you to take his place during the reenactment of the Battle of High Hill. Every year he looked forward to participating and dying in the most ludicrous way he could come up with each year. She smiles at the memory as she opens the box, revealing a round green shield.
A strange honor, but one I will accept.
I suggested you primarily, seeing as you appear to be the one that prefers shields.
Does he know this?
You're carrying one,
No, I know you. I meant you though. Like, how do you know?
because I see your character sheet. There's one in your equipment. But do you take it?
Yep.
And will you all be willing to partake in the reenactment then? You don't have to die in ludicrous ways if you don't want to. I just know that was Ispin's thing.
I'm gonna start practicing dying in a ludicrous way.
Dragon attack!
Holding my chest. Oh, you got me!
Grab your pants.
Oh, that was cheese.
How'd I do?
That was quite good. Make sure to do that in front of everyone, but make sure to do it after you get hit by someone's wooden sword or something.
Try to remember.
What time is the reenactment?
Double check. It is early afternoon, so like 2 p.m.
Well, Mizunaki, you up for a little bit of fun, then?
Derek comes over. You mind if I come along to the festival? Do some of the games together, get some of the food? Turns out, that's all right, Master, though, right? Yes, go. Enjoy yourself in the festival. The rest of you, too. You see Derek give a little fist pump.
So I guess we should go get acquainted with the rules and what we might need to use for the festival.
As we walk out the door, I pretend I'm dying again.
Becklin laughs.
Are all the streets real busy?
Relatively. That's not what I meant to play. There's lots of people about. Like I said, they're setting up stands everywhere. Colorful banners and paper decorations shaped like kingfishers decorate the village circle. Temporary stalls sell food and colorful crafts, and in the center of the circle, an ancient tree provides shade for all the happy picnickers. From a temporary stage, a band of local musicians brings a spirited song to a close as the mayor, Raven Vogler, takes the stage. Welcome, friends, the mayor begins, raising her arms high. Welcome to the Kingfisher Festival. Cheers and applause fill the circle. The mayor smiles widely. Today is a day of not only revelry, but also reflection. We are all here thanks to the courage of heroes who came before us. Let us honor our founders, our family, and all those who can't be here to celebrate today. Enjoy your festival, Vogler, with good spirits, good times, and good friends. And look to the Kingfishers for luck! An energetic round of cheers follows the mayor's words, with the Kingfisher Festival is officially underway.
Let's play some games.
Well, The main game, it seems, is the fish catch,
Yeah.
where the various fishers will try to catch the biggest fish during a set period.
Wait, can I
Derek.
still do this and participate in the reenactment?
What was that?
Can I do this and still be able
Oh
to
yeah,
participate?
this is all before the reenactment's happening.
I can't cheat at that game. I need a game I can cheat at, Joe. A
You
game
just
I can
take the other
cheat at.
person's fish.
I mean, Derek recommends that you guys should do some of the fishing. Sounds like fun, he thinks.
I'm game. I mean, we did buy our own new sets of fishing gear.
Otherwise, there's fish-filled pastries of different kinds, and you see that somebody has apparently taken your idea, Griffle, and is making fish-shaped fish pastries.
Oh, this looks great.
There's also various sweet drinks and kingfisher-shaped crafts.
How much is the fish-shaped pastry?
3 copper.
I'm getting. This was a great idea. I take like 2 bites and then throw it away.
Well, the fish catch begins relatively early in the day, and anyone who wishes to may join.
Oh yeah.
So is anyone besides Nobuto and Mizunaki? Anyone else?
Nope. No, I'm gonna try to find my Kender friend.
She's there. She's set up a different stall, and she's got tons of like even tinier bone trinkets. She's got essentially kind of like bobblehead animals and other stuff. It's all made with fish bone, though.
I want to ask her if she has an extra hook pack.
If she has an extra,
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
no.
where I could get one from here in town, because
I'm gonna step away for a second.
very common.
Right.
Because I lost mine.
Well, there aren't really any Kender here in town.
That's why I'm asking you.
I know, and I don't have any extras. I mean, I've never needed an extra. I've always had mine. I've never lost it. Why'd you lose yours?
It's this adventuring stuff. You go out,
See,
things happen.
you just open up a stall and sell stuff. It's way easier.
You don't know. Then you're just in one place.
Yeah, I guess. But lots of cool stuff still. And plus, look at these! And she has like little bone bobbleheads of animals that most of them don't really look like the animals she claims they are.
I'll take one.
She's selling them for 1 silver apiece.
Done. I'll give her some. And I'll say, well,
Nonetheless-
thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for the business again.
Yeah, of course.
Nonetheless, our 2 fishermen head over to the wharf. A fishing pole resting on her shoulder, Mayor Raven takes her place as one of the competitors and beckons the other participants line up along the docks. It's time to find out who among us kingfisher fisherfolk is the Fisher King. And as she says that, she casts her line out into the river. The competitors receive her pun with good-spirited groans and laughter, and cast their lines as well.
Oh God.
What?
No.
So, it's just Mizunaki and Noboru that are joining in?
Nope, I'm going to watch though.
I just got back. What's going on?
The fishing event. Did you want to join in fishing?
Sure.
Alright. They will provide you with a fishing pole to use. They just ask that you return it.
Of course.
So, alright, they provide you one as well. So every 10 minutes you're allowed to try to catch a fish. You will make a wisdom survival check, and after half an hour, based off who has gotten the most length of fish total, will be the winner.
Let's do it.
Oh no.
Oh, what's that? Was I had a
Wisdom.
ranger?
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom.
If I had a ranger, I could
At
beat him.
least I'm proficient in it.
So, that will be if a fish takes your line in the first place.
I'll make sure. He's
So-
so sweet.
For the first 10 minutes, Nobuto, nothing bites. But Mizunaki, Naomi, and Druval, you all 3 get bites. You'll need to make survival checks to try and reel them in, though.
Nah.
Oh, you both immediately lose yours. But, let's see. Naomi, you managed to pull in a mature cuirassed carp, 3 feet long.
Holy crap, that's a
Damn.
big
Out
fish.
of the big fish. Out of a river.
That
Yeah,
that's a carp.
What kind of poles are we using? Goodness.
good pull.
Well,
If I use an ocean poles,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
For the second,
crab eaters. Biggest 3 feet long off a crab. What's in this river?
the second time around, Nobuto, all 4 of you feel a tug on the line. Well, Nobuto, you're not able to pull it in, and the line snaps. Everybody else, however, Mizunaki, you also pull in one of these 3-foot-long carps. However, Naomi, you only pull in a tiny carp. It's only 1 foot long. And Doruval, you pull in a mature river eel. It's 1.5 feet long.
And it's Druval.
Druval. Well, this is your last chance. Nobuto, you real quick put some new line in, and you all get a tug. And boy, oh boy, Nobuto, you've got something's pulling hard on your line.
Come on.
Poor Nobuto. It breaks. You don't pull anything in. But everybody else, Mizunaki, you get one of those tiny foot-long carps.
A foot long is tiny.
Yeah, here it is. Naomi, you have a tiny river eel, which is 1 foot long. And Duval, you get another foot-long carp.
Another. I didn't get one to begin with.
Oh, I missed. You got the river eel, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a foot-long carp this time. So total it up.
2.5 feet.
Oh, actually, you on the final run, Nobuto, what is tugging is so strong that you get pulled into the water.
I immediately disrobe and jump in after him.
I will fight it in the water.
Do you make a perception check while you're in the water?
Sea turtle.
You see something massive. There is a carp down there that is 8 feet long. That was what was pulling on yours. But it immediately swims away after you've been dragged in.
Well, I swim back up.
Well, totaling it all up, what did everybody get?
I think it only one.
2.5 feet.
5 feet.
I'm at 4.
Well, none of you were able to beat Mayor Raven, who totaled 7.
Peter! No, I'm kidding.
Naomi did get second place, though, with 5.
Hey.
And a villager managed to get third with 4.5. Nonetheless, everybody gets a prize, but the mayor gets the grand prize.
Big prize.
Everybody else gets a tiny wooden carving of a kingfisher.
Aw.
Meanwhile, the mayor gets a blue knit cap.
Any symbolism in that, or is it just something someone made that,
It's just something someone made, and she doesn't even look all that. She's more proud of the fact that she won than the prize, in all honesty.
Give her a bow of respect.
Meanwhile, you see an older fellow, quite well dressed, watching this all happen, and he let's see, who's just watching? Griffle and Crot?
Yeah.
You're watching, right, Griffle?
I was going to say, it's been far too quiet from him to have not made any comments so far.
Actually, no. He goes and stands next to Naomi. He's like, I can't believe you're doing this. It's incredibly boring. How do you find any fun in catching fish?
I know that attitude.
Who even thought this would make for a good contest? Smelly eels, disgusting slimy fish.
Are you at all related to that nobleman kid who was at the...
I am a noble. I'm Lord Bacchus.
Oh, cheese on him.
That's why. Okay. Have you heard a lot about my Lord and Savior? What's his face?
Don't mind cheese god.
Paladine?
I fuck with cheese.
This is one of the old gods, I'm fairly certain. But I don't know why you care about gods that have given up on us.
Oh, well, you see, this one hasn't quite given up on us. He's in charge to me to see if he and the other gods should come back to the world.
Ah, you're delusional. All right. He walks over to somebody else.
See, being a Jehovah's Witness can do two things. It can either bring people into your faith or make them go away, and both of them are equally okay in my opinion.
I missed that. I'd step away quick.
I throw cheese at him as he walks away.
Which god was it that you're talking about?
So wait, who is this?
Father,
This is-
that one kid that
The noble that was talking.
I don't like his attitude, so I throw cheese at him.
He is ugly. Looks like a clown.
I slapped him with cheese.
She serves as Palatine.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Nonetheless, that is the end of the fishing contest. The rest of the morning is spent getting different kinds of delicious food. There's a lot of mostly children's games in reality.
Do we get to keep what we catch?
Oh yeah, you can keep what you catch.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give it to one of the other random fishermen.
Well, they
I
shrug.
love it.
It's gonna be like here.
Take it. They take
Enjoy.
it. But eventually,
Wish I had a better idea.
the day I mean, you all get your lunch. There's, like I said, there's food everywhere and drinks. But time comes for the reenactment. It's located at High Hill. It's about a 30-minute walk north of the village.
Hey, some of us don't got legs to walk that far.
But there will be the reenactment soon, followed by a feast at the Brass Crab. And about an hour before it actually starts, Mayor Raven begins ringing the bell in front of the large house in the village circle and gathering all the town militia, where they lead a parade from the town up to the hill. There are dozens of spectators and wagons filled with drinks and picnicking food following them. Darrett starts gathering all of you together from throughout the town. He's like, come on, they're starting it. We got to get up there. You're still partaking in the battle, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, then let's get going.
I have a death scene to perform.
Yeah. You practice more of that?
Of course.
Gonna smack
Good.
him on the back of the head.
Let me show you.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what you got.
Oh.
Let's see it.
Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying.
You
Oh,
were taking a shit at first.
sometimes it happens when you die.
yeah, real convincing.
I think you need to sound like you're in more pain.
What's going on?
Okay, I'll try to do better for the real thing.
But yeah, let's go. Let's head up to the hill. And he starts leading you all to follow the parade. You easily find everybody gathering at High Hill. So, passing through the woods and fields, Vogler's parade of militia members and reenactment spectators finally reach High Hill. The grassy slope is spotted with trees and crumbled stone fencing. Near the base, several dozen soldiers in matching armor stand in even formation. The contrast is striking between these mercenaries of the Ironclad Regiment and Vogler's militia, with their mismatched armor, crooked helmets. But it does not dampen the spirits of those assembled for the Kingfisher Festival. It is time for the climactic reenactment.
Do we get
You
to
see-
choose what side we're on?
You will be on the militia side, because they're short-handed compared to the entire actual militia regiment that has plenty of people. They're only using a small portion of their force.
Man, I
And
wanted to
obviously,
ask
since
him
you're-
about safety duty.
Since you're representing Ispin, you must be on the victorous side, representing Solamnia against Istar. But eventually, you see that they start. The spectators go and sit where they know they are supposed to, and all the participants begin lining up. Darrett says that you should get in line. They're handing out the wooden weapons.
Is there a wooden spear?
Oh yeah, I mean it's mostly spears and swords.
I don't know if I can wield a sword.
They've got short swords, and they've
Okay.
even got daggers.
Same rules and how to win.
Just that when you think you've been hit hard enough that counts in a spot that counts as a killing blow, you pretend to die and you lay down.
Blunt arrows.
Like this.
They do not. But Mayor Raven calls out to the militia and tells everybody to gather around, and she expects you to join up with them. So, the mercenaries are going to come up the west side of the hill, while you charge down at them. get into your clash, get into a big fight, tussle with each other, and eventually they retreat. So, that's the plan. Everybody understand?
Sounds good.
Give her a firm nod.
Alright then. So, after much laughter and jostling, the mayor, Cudgel, and the other spectators walk to a nearby vantage to watch. As they do, the militia takes up its position atop the high hill. The same hill Salamnek troops held centuries ago. They face the mercenaries of the ironclad regiment at the base of the hill, arrayed as the forces of Istar once were. Although the event is only a reenactment, there is a jitter of excitement filling the field. Somewhere on the line, a reenactor hoots and yells, "Let's send those Istarian rats running!"
Yeah.
Several others cheer. Meanwhile, the Istarian force begin doing a sort of, like bashing the shields as they get themselves ready and psyched up to go. A moment later, a trumpet blast signals the start of the battle. "For Istar!" yells the mercenaries' leader, a tall half-ogre, among several mounted soldiers. The mock Istarian troops assault the hill. Around you, the Vogler militia charge to meet them. Everybody make perception checks. Mizunaki, Naomi, and Druval, you notice the sun glinting off metal as the mercenaries approach.
Guys, I yell, "Wait, those are real weapons!"
It's too late. The charge has already begun.
Start holding back people as best as I can.
I at least yell to my immediate area, yeah.
The unexpected sound of metal clashing on armor rings across the field, silencing laughter and melodramatic boasts. A ribbon of red splashes over the grassy hill, followed by screams. Any pretense of a reenactment shatters. High Hill is the site of a true battle once more. Within moments, all around you, armed mercenaries attack unprepared villagers, fighting for their lives.
Obviously, I go to defend the villagers and tell them all to run and get to safety.
Where's our
Same.
gear?
You all still have your gear.
Then I pull out my longbow.
Oh, hang on a moment.
I didn't come here to die for real.
I have a no more to rob. Can't die till before I do that. My chance.
This is kind of what the feel like I had was. He's got money, maybe the front Ispin, but Bakker's paid off the mercenaries to do this, to take over the town.
And I'm where he lives first.
You are currently in the middle of the battlefield. Oh yeah.
I'm on D
Certain-
in the middle.
I'm in the middle of darkness.
Darkness. There,
Yeah.
now you should be able to see.
Nope.
Now you also die.
Dark.
Can people see?
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
can
see.
Right in there.
There's a tree in my way, though.
I see a black screen.
Then
Is it
some-
nighttime?
No, it's not. There is daylight. Your vision is on.
F5.
Were all these maps like hand drawn by someone?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
You still don't see with your character me moving the token around?
I see
No, I see a black
Do you use? I mean,
black map.
you're the only one who can't see Tyler.
Huh. Here, let me exit out. and
hold
come
your
back.
token right here.
Yeah, move your
It doesn't
token
even
around.
give me an option to hold the token.
Oh, is it not assigned to you?
It's assigned to his character sheet.
Well, try again. Or Tyler, try like exiting and re-entering.
Is it because you never even used your character sheet?
That's probably it. I'll have to.
Open it
Yeah.
and close it.
Rotate it. Hold
Well,
it up.
There's literally a token assigned to a character sheet that isn't even started.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
I forgot that I had to start a character at least.
I, however, do not have like I cannot move my. Oh, look at that! I can. Never mind. I lied.
I don't even have a character sheet.
Yeah, you do. It's called Tyler. It's assigned to you.
I'm looking in the journal. All I'm getting are player handouts.
There.
NPC. Oh, I can see. Oh, there it is.
Well, if you can see now, then maybe you don't need to... I reassigned it to you. I took you off and reassigned
There
it.
we go. I can move now.
Alright.
We're all on the same level.
You should all be the same level.
Okay.
Depending, what is your level?
9.
9. He just
No,
like it
it's
really
2.
overpowered, bro.
Yep.
He is the greatest goblin of them all.
I am. There we go. X. Go. A horse.
3 mercenaries atop their horses. Dang it, stop doing that. Ride towards you. Mizunaki, you have the initiative.
I will pull back a bit and fire off an arrow. Unfortunate.
I mean, you should also declare your target before you attack. But, yes, you miss.
Guess. Man, I only get 1 action surge. I'll hold on to that one. It's my turn.
Alright. Comes galloping up around the corner and tries to catch Mizunaki as he, with his lance, as he comes around.
Do we have like a hill right here?
Yes, you are on a hill. I mean, this
Okay.
here is the hill.
Oh, or what's this then? A hill too?
What?
Or are we on?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little up.
Okay.
It's like different layers of the hill.
Take it, horse.
He hits you for 4 piercing damage as he then continues to ride on. Oh, whoops.
Bastard.
Without his horse.
Ooh, he fell off.
The next one then also rides on. This one decides to simply go straight into the fray and goes after the smallest target that he gets to. He goes after... Actually, who's taller? Griffle or Crot?
I'm just 3 feet. That's it.
I'm taller. Why would you go after the
310.
smallest target?
What's your height, Griffle?
310.
Okay.
Just
So
under
he
8.
goes after Crot. What is your armor class, Crot?
15.
He hits you for 6 piercing.
No. That hurts.
Naomi.
I'm suing him.
I point at this guy running towards, I imagine, more villagers. Correct?
Probably, yeah. There's villagers all around getting killed.
And I command him to grovel.
Wisdom save. He fails. He hops off his horse and then abases himself.
How long does he get to stay like that?
Till the start of his next turn. No, he does the action on his turn, though.
Oh, okay.
That's
And
right.
then-
It's been a while.
Okay, gotcha. And then I will place a bubble.
You can't do 2-leveled spells.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. That is all.
All right. Crot.
You need to drill that into her head, Joe, when she's sleeping. Oh, I'm gonna need the bonus action. I'm gonna disengage
All right.
right there. I'm gonna shoot him with bow. A bow.
Which one? The one that
No,
attacked?
attack me.
Yep. Just checking.
Get sleep attack, right? Since he's engaged with somebody.
Yep. He is. You hit him.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
He cries out in pain as he clutches the reins and stiffens his legs to the stirrups, trying to stay in the saddle.
My turn.
This one begins to ride up, gets up to there, and then he tosses his spear at Noburo, but he misses utterly. Then he quickly draws his short sword. Griffle!
Can I get over this stone fence?
Yeah. It's difficult terrain, so it'll take 10 feet of movement, but you can get over the
I'm
wall.
gonna use my bonus action to disengage. And then I'm gonna use my short bow on the one that was right next to me.
It misses.
That's all I can do.
Noburo!
Well, I will attack first with my dagger against this guy,
How about that, Rue?
Nope.
and then 1 second.
That
Dark.
hits.
There,
That's against which one?
this guy.
Okay. You hit him with that, and he falls from his horse.
And I can still move, yes?
Yep.
Get right
The
in
horse
his
is
way.
not engaging you.
Get right in his way.
All right.
I'll
You're
be
getting in front of a
chuffing you.
charging horse.
It's not really charging because he stopped through his spear and through his sword.
You didn't have to stop.
The horse did not stop.
Crap. Oh well.
I've got this guy.
Druval.
So anyway, I started blasting this guy right here.
All right.
Eldritch blast.
Pew pew.
You hit him.
Pew. Child is a warlock.
Yeah. Or I'll give you a wizard. What's the spell sniper? Beat. You
You
got
see
a
him
sorcerer too.
shrug the blow off and keep in the saddle, fighting, ready to fight.
And I'm gonna move over. That is it.
All right. A volley of arrow falls down into the area, hitting Noburo, as well as the mercenary in front of him and the horse next to you. Make dex save. You jump out of the way. However, the mercenary is not able to, as an arrow catches him in the shoulder. He is still up, though. Mizunaki.
Climb the hill and I'll shoot at this guy.
Which guy? The one that's Noburo's hiding? Yep. I thought so. Just checking. You hit, and with that, he falls out of the saddle to the ground, his armor clattering and his sword falling out of his hand.
Was it difficult terrain to go up that hill?
Not to go up the hill, just to climb over the wall.
Got it. I'll come over to here. Well, here. And that's my turn.
All right. A hulking figure swinging a formidable battle axe leads a band of mercenaries through the chaos. He cuts through a few remaining members of Vogler's militia as he draws closer to you.
Damn.
Damn, he ugly.
He is ugly. I like all the soldiers don't have pictures, they're just...
Yeah. If I'd known that, I would have found some art for them, but I didn't think to look at every single token on every page.
Delete this guy off with turn order 2.
Yeah, I forgot. He is still in the turn order. He's just groveling. He was right after you, actually.
He just threw himself from a running, charging horse.
No, he pulled it to a stop.
But he wouldn't, because he has to do immediately the action.
Yeah,
he's
you're
commanded
right. He would just toss himself
to. Just
off.
toss himself out.
So I'm hoping he took fall damage.
Yeah, he took some.
Well, no, you don't want him to take fall damage. Because does that end the command spell? if you
No.
take
No, it does
damage?
not.
Oh no, that's a
Because-
charm person.
All right. Well, it is his turn, so that's when he would have done that. Does he make a save at the end of his turn then?
Nope, he just finishes that and that ends his turn.
All right. Naomi.
How is everyone doing health-wise?
I'm fine right now. I think Brian took a pretty
Okay.
big hit.
Not that big. I only took 6 damage. I'm still in the teens.
Then I will do and choose you, you, and you. Okay.
Your choices are looking pretty heightist. Sounds like tall privilege.
Well, you see, the short
You
people
did.
can duck faster.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
I've been short all my life. My parents were tall.
Do you do anything else?
No.
All right. This guy dashes to there.
Oh, hello.
Krot,
I'm gonna shoot that guy right there. Oh,
you hit
oh.
the one that just engaged.
Yep.
He doesn't go down.
My turn.
He runs up to Griffle, where he proceeds to swing his spear, or stab with his spear. And he hits for 4 piercing damage.
Ouch.
This one also had to dash.
Oh, my
Griffle.
lord.
Hey, boys.
I'm going to disengage again and go back this way.
How tall is this wall?
Can I see over it?
It's about your height. It's about 3 feet tall.
So can I? Would it take an action to get on the horse?
I believe it's movement to get onto a horse.
So I've got 10 feet. Is that good enough?
I think it's like half your movement.
Your voice changed, Joe.
I think that's
I
Vader.
think that's scary.
Then I can get on the horse, and I'm gonna shoot at the one that just tried to hit me.
Let me double check. Find creature size, actions, attack, dash, dodge, hit, attack rolls, melee attacks. Where is mounting and combat?
Probably doesn't exist.
Mounting and dismounting.
Yep.
Movement equal to half your speed.
Perfect. I'm on. And I shot it.
At which one?
At the one that just tried to hit me.
Alright. Your shot plinks off his armor.
Oh,
Ding.
that's all I can do.
This one dashes to get across the wall and into combat with Druval. Noburo,
Going up to him.
you have advantage for flanking. Hit. Your second attack, however, cannot penetrate his armor.
Alrighty, that's me.
I'll show you lot how to deal with them. Get up off the ground, you idiot!
As he comes forward, dashing up to there. Druval,
Alright.
did it switch to the correct voice for that?
Yes, it did.
Yes.
Good.
If it was supposed to be a robot one, yes.
Okay. I am going to turn and do burning hands this direction. This direction. So I'll hit him, big guy, Nobu, and this one.
So what is the,
So, 15
right?
foot, so it'll go. Yeah, I'll hit.
where are my templates?
I'll tell ya.
15-foot cone.
Yes.
If I can get my stuff to load.
Just couldn't resist setting me on fire, could you?
Oh,
First session, we're already making enemies.
Hey man, we're ready.
No, you didn't, because we don't know you stole from us. Yeah.
True.
Or are you
What?
trying to...
one more over to the right. Wouldn't I be able to do that
Let me see.
if I have it started at this corner?
Hey,
I think I prefer that.
we don't care what you prefer.
So those three,
Yep.
right?
Hit the button. So it's a dex save of 14.
Not what I wanted. This button. One of them fails.
Okay, the other two take half.
This guy, the guy that takes the brunt of it, outright falls over dead. Yeah. And this guy, even with only partial, was enough to kill him from the after already being stabbed.
And then
Weak gets the lot of you.
move. There.
That's your turn.
Yep, and I'll be right back.
Naomi, one of the horses begins to bolt, and in so doing almost knocks you over. You must make a dex save. You fail, and you're knocked prone as it runs past you, panicking.
but no damage.
No damage. You just get knocked prone,
Cool.
and it runs away. Mizunaki.
Guess I'd take a disadvantage action here.
Wouldn't technically, like, this horse, like, fled away by now?
Yeah, probably actually would also leave.
And then I'll action surge. Okay, come on, dice, don't fail me now. I'm gonna shoot the big ogre, half ogre. Yeah, they failed me.
You still have D4.
Yeah, but I have a feeling his hide is strong enough to block all that.
Let me double check. You hit him.
Oh,
The arrow sinks deep into his chest and he grunts with pain.
You're going to pay for that.
what is it to stow a weapon?
To stow is an action.
Oh,
Just drop it.
I'm not sure how chaotic this battle. We might end up getting swept away, and I don't want to lose my longbow.
Do you do anything else, Mizunaki?
Yes, I walk over here.
That your turn?
Yep,
This guy stops groveling.
spends half his movement getting up.
Yep. but that's still plenty to get into range to flank. As he then tries to stab Nobu, but misses, as Nobu deflects the spear. Naomi.
On the big dude.
Oh, you gotta stand up, I'm assuming.
I'm standing up, and then on the big dude.
Alright.
Fly.
He fails. And he starts trying to pat out the magic flames, but they don't go out.
No!
That your turn?
That is my turn.
This guy, seeing his leader fall, decides it is now time to make a hasty retreat and leaves the battle. Krot.
Alright. Are these just humans?
Yeah, they're just humans for the most part.
Okay. So the medium.
Yeah,
So they're technically larger than I am, aren't they?
they are.
Cool.
You are small.
I'm gonna use my Fury of the Small. I get to add my level to my damage. I hit, which
You don't hit.
I will hit. That's my turn.
Alright. Now, this guy, seeing what just happened, actually, first he has to double check. He is also deciding that this is now a bad time, and falling back. Griffle, make a animal handling.
Or be tossed.
Oof.
The horse bucks you off, and
I'm a
it
long way down.
runs away. You take 4 bludgeoning as you hit the ground and fall prone.
Ouch. Well, I get up and I shoot the one that's.
It misses.
Oh goodness.
I guess I should ask. Was that your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Nobuto, you cannot get through his armor. However, you stab him in the kidney. Side strike that he's not expecting. And with that, he falls to his knees and then to the ground. With that, the battle begins to wind down. The few remaining mercenaries begin to scatter, but it appears that they have slain most of the militia. However, it appears that the arrival of their commander, Cudgel Iron Smile, along with the mayor and Becklin, as well as several other, lack of a term, burly spectators, has also scared off a few of them. A few attempt to kill Cudgel, but Becklin dispatches them very quickly. Nonetheless, the militia is mostly wiped out.
I go to aid the nearest wounded.
There are several. The mayor approaches your small group. I want to thank you, and I promise I'll provide some kind of reward to you. But at the moment, we definitely need to treat the wounded. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna go and start helping round up the wounded and do whatever basic, you know.
You may
Just
make
stopping the
medicine. Anyone who wants to may make medicine checks.
Mizunaki, I suggest you don't help in that. And you just broke someone's ribs.
Yep.
I give him my
Mizunaki.
healing potion. Whoever I unfortunately.
I will help by moving people or things like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
People who know how to do medicine tell me.
Both Duval and Naomi, you manage to find and stabilize some wounded villagers, and each of them gives you a small piece of jewelry or a lucky charm as thanks.
And of course, I refuse and give it back to them. And
I as well. It's like,
In which case, you both get inspiration.
ta-da! I don't even remember what that does. We never get it.
Yeah.
You can
I've been
choose.
trying to get it for so long, but it just never happens. I got it that one time when I treated that one lady everyone else killed with respect instead of jumping into combat because she was unarmed. And everyone else was like, yeah, but she's a big bad leader. Get her!
I don't remember that.
I don't give out inspiration often because I use flanking. It's easy to get advantage in my campaigns. But all it does is you spend it to get advantage on a roll.
Okay.
And then there's Derek's campaigns where he says he gives it out left and right because he doesn't like flanking.
I like to feel good about myself.
Once
Andre,
I'm done
you're
with
a great
one,
person.
I'm going to find the
I try
next
so
one.
hard.
Yeah, you keep doing that.
Yeah.
But eventually, after as many of the wounded are tended to as possible, the mayor and Becklin urge the villagers to return to Vogler. They need to organize a proper response. And specifically, Becklin asks you to escort them home safely in case of further threats.
Will do.
Well, while they were doing their medical, I'll be going through these 4 guys'
Bodies.
bodies.
I'm gonna go right over here and grab this guy's body.
They're wearing chain shirts and they are carrying spears. And amongst them, you find 4 gold.
I'll go back to the big guy to reclaim my arrow,
You get it back.
and I guess I'll search him.
He had... Double check. He just had his great axe and hide armor.
Guess I'll take a great axe.
Becklin asks, once you return to the village, to join her at the Brass Crab.
I'd like to get my arrows back to Joe.
Yeah, you get them all back. There's plenty of arrows just everywhere, so that even if you don't get yours back, you get enough to make yours.
Maybe I'll collect some extra arrows. Survival?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that you can get back. There's enough laying around that you can get back to what you started with. I'm not that going around picking up extra arrows.
Okay.
Hey, no arrows for you. Keep moving. Yeah.
I already got my arrows.
And
Shut up.
nonetheless, the festival's levity has been abandoned as people now seem to seek refuge or mill about the circle, uncertain what to do. Becklin has called you to the Brass Crab.
Brass crab. Grab a bra.
Once you get there, the mayor is already there, and you hear her conversation already well in play. I've instructed a group of villagers to tend to the wounded and recover the bodies of those murdered at the hill. I want to know why the regiment attacked. Clearly, Cudgel has been betrayed, but why? We've captured a mercenary, and we'd like to question them. I was hoping that maybe you could help with us. She gestures towards the party.
Do it.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah,
Torture somebody.
definitely.
No
I would
torture. You're not allowed to
Oh.
harm him.
Oh,
I will not stand for it.
I've been practicing.
Here, let me deal with. Let me try. Wait, I want to read something. So, is the guy in front of us? Sorry.
They tell you that he's in the other room. Cudgel is in there right now trying to get answers out of him.
All right.
Any luck?
Well,
Not that I've heard.
I will enter Duval just to look like extra muscle.
I will follow.
I'm gonna go in.
All
You
right,
stand
well,
between someone's legs and go.
is the whole party going into the room?
Yeah.
I wasn't going in. I was just standing between somebody's legs and.
Well,
I find it.
in there, you find Cudgel pacing back and forth, questioning a human in the garb of the Ironclad. And the mayor follows and tells Cudgel, why don't you give them a chance? Do whatever you can. That I'm not opposed to magic, but you are not, as I stated already, allowed to harm him.
Don't worry, I won't need to.
Give her a nod.
You do see Cudgel standing in the corner looking very angrily, just staring daggers at that mercenary. What do you, Lord, want?
So I want to cast Charm on him.
Alright. What you gotta do?
Wisdom save of 14.
He succeeds.
Damn it.
Trying to use magic, eh? Not gonna work on me.
Repent.
Repent of what?
Do it.
You're one of those holy types? Think the gods are still around?
So just to be clear, you did roll, right?
Oh, you used command. I didn't see you.
Dear gosh.
I wasn't looking at that.
No kidding.
That he fails. He just kind of, I'm sorry.
Okay, repent means admitting your sins, Joe?
Depends on the interpretation of the individual.
I'm sorry, I killed people.
I ask forgiveness that I slaughtered all those pathetic villagers.
Why did you guys do it?
I ain't gotta tell you nothing.
What was the gal's name in the corner?
Cudgel.
I'm gonna walk. Is she native to like this town? Was it?
Nope.
No.
She's the leader of these mercenaries.
I thought these people were supposed to be friends with the guy who died.
She is.
What the heck, lady?
Are you asking that of Cudgel?
Yep.
I was a personal friend of Ispin Greenshield, and I formed my mercenary company. I want to know just as badly as you do why they decided to turn around and turn this into a bloodbath. They tried to kill me. I thought these were my loyal soldiers. I want to know. I want to kill this bastard here right now, personally. But...
Izanaki, can you pick him up?
I'll be honest, man. I don't have good strength, but I'll try. Just a strength roll, Joe.
yeah, strength check.
How long has it been since Bless has been going?
Well, that
It's a long while. You walked all the way back to town. It's been over half an hour.
And she
Like,
cast
almost
a
an
spell
hour.
afterwards, so that didn't go away because it was
yes, yeah.
concentration.
Well, unless that spell doesn't take concentration to use.
Yeah, it does. It's only a minute.
You guys have been... It's been like an hour since I was casting.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, you don't pick him up. I mean, you lift him up, like, so he's standing, but you don't pick him off the ground. You're just kind of awkwardly hugging him now. What the hell are you
No.
doing?
I hate that
Get
you
off
guys
me.
make me do things.
Get off me!
I don't.
He tries to shove you away.
He's bound, isn't he?
No,
Oh, he's
Why
not
would
bound.
they bind him?
because there's guards in the room that are just making sure he doesn't escape.
Do you guys have rope here I can use?
That's...
I have
I
rope.
do. I do.
Yeah, he pushes you off of him immediately.
Okay. Let's tie him up. Cocoon. Yeah. Arms, legs, bound to his side.
It's not really necessary. I wasn't planning on leaving.
Start a water drip over his head.
You can't torture guys!
That's not harming
No.
him.
I'm not
We
harming
can't
him.
Harm
That's not
him.
harming him. I was actually going to suggest that
That's ignoring.
too.
So,
That's psychological torture!
They don't need to know that.
What?
They meant by harm as in physical. They never said
You're
anything
so
about
I'm going to
mental.
wrap him up and
But
leave
you
the
were-
feet, the rope, the extra rope by the feet. I want to have a good length.
Naomi, aren't you lawful good?
I know, I was kidding.
Okay, yeah, you tie him up. Like I said, I wasn't planning on leaving.
Can I have some people help drag him for me?
Yeah, I guess.
We're out of range. We don't got good strength.
Well, I was asking Kujal, anybody who is tough, any of town's guards.
Yeah, they bring over a couple people. Where are we taking him?
To the docks. Let's go.
We're not allowed to hurt him, remember?
I know.
If you're thinking of throwing him in the river, you're not allowed to.
Not doing that either.
Then what are you doing?
You'll see. Don't worry.
No,
I
tell me.
promise not
I
to hurt him.
Tell me.
We're going to string him up, upside down, for a time being. Let the
Why do
blood
you need to be at the
flow.
docks for?
It's still torture.
Sea air helps you with this. Don't
I-
worry. I promise not to injure him, or hurt him, or physically harm him.
Alright, they bring him out to the docks.
Want to just find a nice pole to string him up on?
I mean, there are some.
Doesn't have to be over the water. It's just gonna be like on the docks, over the pier, on the wharf.
Alright. And how are you keeping him tied up while he's upside down?
Well, he's gonna have the rope tied around him.
Alright.
and the rest of
It's-
the rope.
Do you know a knot that will keep him tied up so that he will be retained upside down when he is hung?
What would that be?
Intelligence.
Just an intelligence roll?
Intelligence roll.
Let's see.
Even I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah, he's hanging sideways. He's not upside down.
Gonna
Is
get
this
a
supposed to
stool.
scare me?
Nope. I'm gonna get a stool. I'm gonna pull out my spear and just start spinning him around with the blunt end.
He's gonna make him so nauseous. He's gonna want to tell us.
This may take a while. You might want to pull up a seat.
Alright, you start spinning him?
Yep, it's just very slowly to begin with.
Okay.
Torture.
Poking cheese at
I'm
him.
not physically harming him.
That's not what torture.
We said that we could not physically harm him.
She said no torture!
But how long can you stay up like that?
Guess we'll find out. As he keeps
Yeah.
spinning. After a few minutes, the mayor comes out. What are you doing?
And again,
I said I didn't want torture.
he loves it.
Not torture per se.
You are allowed to question him. You are allowed to even use magic. You are not in any way to physically accost him. I asked you not to. Take him down. And the guards begin taking him down.
I mean, I'm standing further
The-
away and just
The
rolling. my
entire
eyes.
time, the mercenary is just grinning at you all.
Yeah, I can't really do anything. I mean, I have an idea.
Well, that wasn't very long, was it? Can I go back to the room now, Mayor? They lead him back to the room where they were holding him.
Duval, you're no longer allowed to make group decisions without consulting the party first.
Even I have to agree on this one.
You were part of the torture too, Sam! You were trying to say it wasn't torture!
I mean, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also curious as to what he was coming up with.
So? You're a lawful neutral. You shouldn't be for it.
Griffle, what are you doing during all this?
Oh, God. Just attack him endlessly with your dragon. That is not considered torture. You're playing.
I probably wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it.
That's very
Trying
true.
to ignore it and looking around, occupying myself.
Can't physically accost.
He clearly wants, or not necessarily clearly, but he can get something out of the deal. He's gonna take it. Ask what the harshest sentence that this town can give him is. Is he liable to hang, or is he just going to run away for the rest of his life, or is he gonna get community service and walk basically free after that? Can they release him and make him a bounty, and I'll make a game of bringing him back over and over again until he finally gives us what we want.
I would assume that their harshest sentence would be hanging.
So ask the mayor, see if he's going to go up for trial for this. If he's just going straight to hanging.
Yes, I will inquire about that.
There will be a trial. I assume that we already know how things are going to be ruled, but he will most likely hang. Until then, as per laws of Solamnia, you are not allowed to physically harm him.
I 100% agree.
Take them all.
We need,
So we take them all.
Never harmed him.
but negotiation
city.
is not off the table. The man will pay a price, but we need not pay ourselves in the lives of others, and we can save more. Give him a lighter sentence in exchange for the information we need. There's bound to be more. They retreated somewhere.
It's too bad your character is an idiot.
I know! Sam, interpret! I'm using sign language!
I mean, technically, from what you had said, he's not exactly an idiot. He just can't communicate that in common.
Alright, I'll speak Japanese.
So therefore, I would have to basically, yeah, relay what he's
I'm
saying.
a bounty hunter. I do things within the law.
So yes, relay that Mizunaki is asking if we can offer a deal for information.
Well, you're welcome to try.
Well, I mean, first, you're the mayor, so what kind of deal can we offer him without obviously being...
That will
lenient?
depend on how useful he is.
Alright, so the better information he gives us, the better his deal, or the lighter his sentence will be.
That sounds reasonable.
Alright, now someone with a high charisma, get in there, start negotiating.
With the high charisma, tried spinning him around.
I have a 17 in charisma.
How does the goblin rogue have such high charisma?
I want him to walk in that room and like put a briefcase on the table, open it up, and it's just more cheese for his back. He can only see the back of the cheese, so he can't really...
I did it like chef and go.
I know, I just think it's funny that... Briefcase full of cheese.
I got the cheddar here.
Anyone trained in persuasion?
No, I'm not. I will think about it. I didn't spot deception, but I can lie to him.
Anyone trained in intimidation?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really want to intimidate. It needs to be persuasive. No one takes persuasion?
Andre, you're talking to a bunch of people that don't really like doing the talking.
Yeah.
You're talking to a party with...
all day long.
You're talking to a party with no face.
But
Somebody who
I will go
has
in there.
persuasion is not paying attention to anything that's happening.
I will go in there, and I will ask. I will offer him a deal based on his information.
I'm gonna follow.
I go lie about the deal.
So go in, my God.
You're willing to make a deal. What do I get out of it?
Well, perchance your life, maybe even freedom, depending on the weight of your information.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
I really hope it's not gonna fail.
Oh my God.
My rolls tonight.
The night.
Minor
Last
birthday.
week.
That was
Thank
actually
you for
a
that.
good line too.
I
Damn it.
know. I'm going to say that the role playing in of itself is good enough.
Oh, thank you. Come on, get past this.
Well,
You can just lie to him.
if you're willing to get me out of this, then I can tell you some stuff. I'll start off at the fact that Gregonis planned on killing Cudgel and taking control of the regiment for himself.
Assuming that's the big half ogre guy.
Yes. Big half ogre?
Yeah. You know?
He's
He's
dead.
dead now.
Well, then we're definitely not getting paid. Well, if that's the case, a few days ago he went into the woods west of the camp. Came back with a bunch of gold. Not sure where it is. I'd like to find it, personally.
I'll find the gold.
Fine, go.
He picked his most loyal mercenaries and told them we'd get paid if we attacked the militia during the reenactment. He then planned to sack Vogler.
Is she with us at this point?
The mayor?
No,
Or
the
Cudgel.
Cudgel.
Cudgel is still in the corner. Really
Alright.
angry.
I will position myself strategically between her and him. Just in case she actually flies off and tries to kill him.
Is that good enough? Do I get to be let go now?
Ask where the others fled to.
Where did the remaining survivors of yours, perchance, regroup?
I have no idea.
You guys didn't have...
We weren't expecting to lose. It was a bunch of peasants.
Alright, so basically then I would recommend further patrols on the road. Just because if they're bandits now, they're probably going to attack the road.
That would be the logical thing to do. Besides regroup and then attack again, but that would depend on their amount of some forces left.
Is that good enough?
He said he rounded up all his most loyal. So you're
Yeah.
saying that some of the mercenaries may not have known.
Yeah, all the ones that came to the reenactment are the ones that got paid. Well, we were told we were going to get paid. The ones that are still back at camp, including Jayev, Cudgel's lieutenant, probably still loyal to Cudgel. There are some who think honor is more important than gold. Idiots that they are.
Alrighty, I believe that's all.
Alright. I look forward to being free.
We never promised that.
No, we said freedom, but not necessarily.
Possible.
If
freedom.
it was
No, no,
worth
no,
it.
not necessarily freedom as he can go. He's now free of the noose.
Mhm.
He leans back, puts his hands behind his head. I did my part. As far as I'm concerned, I should be let scot off free.
Yeah, no.
Well, I think that's the mayor's decision, or whatever jury she wrangles together.
Sir. Yeah, yeah. That's the way how it goes. Just let everyone drop it. Let's go. Leave him behind. We got to go discuss with the mayor the implications as well as the location out west to the forest.
Well, he's placed in a nearby shed under guard, and Cudgel says that she's going to go out and find if the rest of her mercenaries really are loyal. If they are, she plans to bring them by dawn back to town.
And also, we need to tell the mayor about there is no necessarily pre-planned group points, although enemy soldiers or mercenaries might just turn them to bandits and maybe have extra watches on the road.
Well, that's going to be difficult considering they just killed our entire militia. We'll
Well.
probably have to seek aid from the city of Kalaman. Maybe even put in a request to the Knights of Solamnia. You mentioned a meeting in the woods.
It's west of his camp.
Yes. I don't have anyone I can send out, but if you are willing, well, maybe I could round up some people. I'd prefer if you would be willing to go check that out. If not, I know some local hunters who can look into it.
No. I mean, personally, they sullied the festival that Ispin, our dear friend, is looking forward to. I think it's in our interest to do this. If not for the town, for Ispin.
Also, I'll send Darrett with as a guide. He knows the area. Yeah, I can do that. I'll come with. I'm good.
Perhaps. All right.
If he does come with, he listens to all our commands.
Well, I'm already used to doing that. I serve under Becklin. I know how to follow orders.
Well, then I guess we have no issue. Or at least myself and Mizunaki do not.
We heading out tonight? I mean, I'd assume that we want to get this done right away, find out whatever we can.
Yes, sounds good. Get a head start. Don't let them get too far away.
Are we still going to be hurt, or are you resting before then? I guess a short rest before then?
If you like, you may take a short rest.
For anyone who was damaged.
That would be terrific.
Actually, when do I get my... Is it a long rest for my action surge?
I think the action surge is a long rest.
Once you must finish a short or a long rest before you can use it again.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
I use dice, right? For a short rest?
Yeah, hit dice.
Okay.
Get my spell slots back at a short rest, so.
But otherwise, Derek leads you out west of town a few hours. It gets to be pretty late into the night. He leads you past where the mercenaries are camped. And eventually, you find a small wooded area with a clearing and some standing stones. I kind of figured if anywhere was going to be a meeting place, it'd be this place. It made the most sense to me.
I mean, do we see anything out of the ordinary?
I mean, what are you looking for?
Signs of people?
Make investigation or survival check.
I'll do the investigation.
Most of the group is able to figure out that there are a number of tracks. Some are boot prints, others are clawed. They wind north.
Mizunaki, I don't think it's those things we encountered before.
What things would that be?
Likely.
Dragonish humanoids?
Oh, I had not heard about these. Interesting.
We killed 2 of them after they apparently attacked a convoy. Yes, of the Knights of Salumia.
This is the part where preludes are cool.
Oh, so by the way, don't stab them in a specific area. They apparently leak gas and you turn to stone.
And what is that area?
Where is that area, Joe?
It seemed to be somewhere around their neck.
Their neck area.
Interesting.
I got better.
Well, shall we follow these tracks
It was
north
lucky.
then? Or what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I say follow the tracks north.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm good with following.
More dragon
To
things.
the west of his camp.
Get my dragon puppet out while we go.
Is there anything else around this area that we find unusual? Any?
Not
Why are
really.
we going north if it said it was west from the camp?
You went west, and now there's tracks leading north.
Then,
Reptilian tracks that lead north.
what? You want him to speak Japanese?
Oh, reptilian and boots.
Human. Boots.
Those
Yes,
who
we head
governments
north.
go walking
You head north.
to Alaska.
The woods give way.
I will tell Noboru to warn them. Very tough girls.
Yes.
The woods
Fight.
give.
Or try not to engage if we can help it. Figure out situation.
The woods give way to a ledge overlooking a shallow valley. In the distance, dozens of low fires illuminate hundreds of red tents. Among them move patrols of shadowy, human-like figures. Thousands of soldiers occupy a camp. An army.
Yeah, we may need backup.
We need to head back to the village.
Yeah.
We need some boulders.
Or stop at the mercenary camp and head to the village.
What's everyone's movement speed?
I imagine 30 for
30.
most of us.
I am
Well,
40.
30. We don't care what you.
Because my idea would be some of us head back. One person who's fast, keep an eye on the movements in the army, and if it seems like they're approaching, then run back to us.
How far away from town are we, roughly?
Oh, I mean, like 2 hours.
I mean, in my characteristics, since I once ran 25 miles without stopping to warn my clan approaching Oakport, and I'd do it again if I had to. My little
Get
characteristic.
it back to your clan? Across the ocean?
I mean, that's very befitting then right now.
But
All right, then I guess
would
I'll tell Noboru I'll watch.
well, you and I will watch, since that's kind of my job.
Oh,
And then everybody else head back to the mercenary camp. Tell them to just immediately start moving to the village.
Yes. Stay safe. Start looking out.
All right.
which means we need to probably be stealthy.
Definitely.
Very stealthy.
I don't suppose I can take off my chainmail and actually put it in my backpack.
You could.
Then I guess I'm taking off my chainmail and putting it in my backpack before I actually get down to survey. Then just stealth.
Stealth checks from those who are wanting to stay and perform some accounts. Are very hidden. Except for
Griffle.
Griffle.
It's too curious.
With his +9.
He's attacking it with the dragon. Found out. He's got our backs.
He's holding the dragon up so it looks like it's attacking the camp.
He's got a dragon at our side, boys. We'll be fine.
Well, for the three of you that go and look into the camp, make perception checks.
I'd rather not.
The ones who are staying with looking over the camp.
Oh. I thought you said the ones going back to the camp.
No, I said the ones who are looking at the army camp.
Oh, thank God, because...
So, Mizunaki, Griffo, Noburo. You do notice that a number of the soldiers are hooded, and they also seem to have wings and tails. They look very familiar. But there are also just as many, perhaps even more humans mixed amongst them. In fact, there's also some goblins and hobgoblins.
Yeah, people!
You also recognize that there are some patrols moving around.
I guess it's best we study the path of the patrols, just in case they don't move out before the town is warned and we need to infiltrate, as well as to prevent ourselves from being discovered.
Yep.
Well, patrols look pretty vigilant. If you get too close, they will definitely spot you.
Trying to avoid any routes.
They are very organized. Like, they don't have blind spots. You can get a look from afar without getting caught, but if you get close, they will catch you. Unless you are, like, the wind.
I don't think we're intending on getting closer. We're just making
But
sure
yeah,
that we don't
they
get caught.
They don't appear to be moving out. They are camped for the night, it would seem. I mean, breaking down a camp this size would take a decent bit of time.
I'd say then we'll probably keep vigil till the morning, then return.
Alright.
Would you guys like to stay a little bit longer than that, just to be safe?
We could probably keep vigil till dawn and then move out.
Well, the rest of you head back to the mercenary camp.
Mm-hmm.
There you find Cudgel alongside what you assume to be her lieutenant, Jayev.
It's cool.
They greet you, and Cudgel asks, "So, what news do you have then?"
Nothing good. I point back the direction. I tell her about how long it took us to get here. It's like that direction. There's a huge army in the thousands.
Thousands. I have only a few dozen warriors here. Although, I have confirmed everyone here in the camp is loyal to me. Otherwise, I'd probably be dead right now, if they weren't. But Jayev heard about what happened on the hill, and he did find that there were a few in the camp that were loyal to Gorgonis. We've dealt with them. Also, some of our scouts heard about a large force. What? An army, you say? Thousands?
Yes.
Was it actually thousands? Hundreds of tents, I guess. It could be up
I
to
don't remember.
thousands.
I mean, it seemed like thousands. At least well over 1,000. That's not some roaming mercenary band, that's for sure. That sounds like an army.
It does. We left two of ours there to...
3. Griffin stayed behind.
No, he's so small, you know.
It's so-
To keep an eye on their movements and send anybody if they start to move. But it'd be
sounds
best
reasonable.
if we get back to the town.
Agreed. I'll have my troops move into the town. I want to believe that we'll be able to have a peaceful resolution to this. But you have the backing of my mercenaries. We'll defend Vogler to the end.
Well, we look forward to seeing you there. We're gonna head there now and tell the mayor of this news.
Do that. She'll want to know, even if it is such bad news. But hopefully not the worst news. It'll take us some more time to get this place packed up. Best of luck to you.
And you.
But that, I believe you'll call it here as you arrive back in Vogler.